What's up, guys? How we doing? And we're back. And we are back. Welcome back to True Crime for Boys, the smart little boys true crime show. Been a minute. Good to be back. Good to be back, fellas. Hopefully my neighbors are feeling hyped. Back on the grind. So yeah, it's been a minute. We're gonna have to file. What's up, guys? What's up? All my smart little sound effects and mic volume are not equal. Which one needs to be louder? Looks like my test. I'll turn down the mic a little bit. Okay, I'm assuming the sound effects need to be louder. Am I correct on that? Unfortunately, it's been filters, edit filters, output gain, crank that. How's this? Is that loud? Is that loud enough for you guys? I think it's fine. I think everything sounds fine. That's my theory on the matter. But we're back. All of my smart little boys are gathered. Hugh at about a 2. According to my little bar, it looks like I'm relatively loud. I think I might have just been speaking quietly to set a somber and mysterious tone for the somber and mysterious evening we've got ahead of us here. They aren't clipping. Yeah, I think the audio's fine. Looking at the little bars, the audios are fine. It's just a classic public speaking technique where you start quietly and slowly build to a yell to capture their attention, and then now they're too loud. Okay, I'll turn them back down. I already turned them down. They're fine. Everything is fine. Guys, the audio is fine. The audio is fine. The audio is not the issue at hand right now. So yeah, we're going to have to file case number 2. It's tough, it's tough being an Encyclopedia Brown style boy detective these days. Case 1, the Idaho 4, the Joker Burger case. We filed it. You guys all remember. We filed that as a case closed. Mission complete, case closed. Now it's coming to my attention. Maybe things aren't so simple. But you know what? We're going to keep that one in the case closed category for the time being. Then we moved on. You guys are going to want to catch my gesticulations here. Then we moved on to the diamond scamdustry. That one was pretty interesting, I thought. And we didn't really finish that one. I was thinking about revisiting it, but it's been a long time. I think we're going to have to file that one under pending. Cold case. We're going to make that one a cold case. For the time being. We might come back and bust that one wide open, but I think after all of our research, all of our digging, I think the conclusion that I and you guys came to was that actually it's fine. Actually, there's nothing going on there. So now we're going to move on to something that I think is going to be in everybody's wheelhouse here. Something that, we're all into. Because it came to my attention the other day. I was listening to my favorite podcast, Psyop Cinema. Great show. Check them out. And they had a very distressing, shall we say, two-parter on the esoteric significance and symbology of Mario. Mario 64 and the Bob Hoskins Mario movie. Oh, nice. You didn't get eaten by a bear. Shout out. Shout out solo camping and not getting eaten by bears. That's awesome. I was listening to them today on Wall Street. Oh, yeah, I listened to their Wall Street one yesterday. It's a great show. That's probably the podcast that I get most hyped when an episode comes out on, because they're somewhat irregular. But one of those pops out, I'm there. And I was checking out their Mario ones, which I had never really considered. We were discussing it in, I should have saved this picture. Where were we talking about the, oh man, Discord's got like 100 messages in every fucking thing. Just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. So yeah, we were learning about all of the okay, let's good thing there's nothing spooky in there. Well, that's good. So I was getting all noited on yeah, look at that. I was getting all noited on Mario. Yeah, Rudolf Steiner. I'll be real, guys. I listened to the Psyop Cinema episode on Mario. I was very distressed. There was some real spooky stuff going on. And then we talked about it a bit in the Discord, and I did no further research. And I was saying how confident I was that Sonic is actually White Lodge, White Hat, and that Mario, and that it's obviously, now that I think about it, it's pretty obvious. Mario is a red hat. He literally wears a red hat. But then it came to my attention that if you just add "ma" in front of Sonic, Ma, I've learned recently, Star Mother, it's the feminine Chaos Dragons, very sinister stuff, folks. That, you can't spell Masonic without Sonic. I still think Sonic is probably a white hat. I know I used Sonic in the thumbnail, but I think we're going to look into Mario first and foremost. Because Mario, you'll notice, has a frickin' M on his red hat. Right? So yeah, I haven't done a ton of prep here. We're going to kind of fly by the seat of our pantses tonight. Do some research into Mario. Maybe some research into Sonic. And then kind of take it from there. So here, I've done a quick little web search here for some esoteric Mario information to get us started here. So this seems like what I would describe as a pretty reliable source. His full name in one of the cartoons was Masonic the Hedgehog. What? Oh my god. Sonic eats chili dogs. He's a true patriot as far as I'm concerned. 07. Not gonna lie, I did some digging today while sick in bed and haven't found anything substantial on either. Are you sick? Are you sick, Gaines? I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, okay, I mean, like, the most research I've done thus far is listening to 40 minutes of a Psyop Cinema episode, which it wasn't perhaps not the most conclusive thing I've ever heard. Oh no, Gaines has AIDS. I know that story, brother. I know that all too well. Okay, that's fine. Though one thing, I don't know. I might be repeating this when we record the pod tomorrow, so forgive me if you hear this over and over again. But like the guys, the Psyop Cinema fellas, friends of the show, that they don't know it yet, but they are. We're talking about who's the American general who was in Japan. MacArthur. Or whatever. It's one of those big generals everybody knows about. And apparently he was a big Mason. Because I find it kind of difficult. Like, I know that it's not real. It's from partying too much. Like, listen. I know that the Japanese have done some things in the past that one could theoretically describe as questionable, right? But it's still a little difficult to imagine. I don't know. Maybe this is some sort of reverse racism that I have, where I have a difficult time imagining Japanese guys doing sinister stuff. Which, it's one of those things when you think about it, it's like, well, I can think of a few examples. But like a Japanese man putting sinister Masonic symbols into Mario? And like the Japanese guy was all like saying that, we make a game where he get very big and very small, like with eating mushrooms. which apparently is some Alice in Wonderland thing, and it's a little hazy right now. We're gonna work through it and figure out if this is accurate or not tonight. So I would certainly describe this as a very authentic looking source. It's a Substack article from a Substack called Chasing Tartaria that has that has 2 likes. We're going to give it a second. I don't have a Substack account. Never mind. We will not be giving that a like. And the writer is a gaming scribe. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna bust into the Mario stuff. Maybe we'll get into some Sonic stuff. Maybe if this is a total dead end, we'll maybe do some Kyle Odom stuff. We'll see. Because we got a secret project. Secret no longer, I guess. Listen, Project Zeta Reticulon, that one's secret. But I think we're going to start up a sort of like side project called the N-Files. And perhaps True Crime for Boys can be a bit of a research feeder tube for that one. And I think we're going to do something on Kyle Odom, who I don't know much about. So we'll see how Mario goes. And if that doesn't pan out, we'll bust into... we'll do some Kyle Odom research. Because that was going to be the story that I returned to True Crime for Boys with. But basically the picture of Sonic as a Mason and all the Mario stuff really piqued my interest, so I thought it would be cool. Yeah, the N-Files. It's a top secret drop for your guys' ears only. I think we're going to start a little side project doing the N-Files, which synchronizes nicely with True Crime for Boys, so we can do these streams as sort of a research thing, and then we'll produce something a little bit slicker for the gen pop. You know what I mean? But yeah, all I know about Kyle Odom is what Jordan said on the episode where we talked about that, and I've done zero supplementary research. Unmasking Mario. The Esoteric Secrets of Super Mario. You know what? Let's watch a quick video first, and then we'll do the reading for the in-depth study of the topic. Illusion, and I have a special, a nice plain YouTube account here, which I've only subscribed to Chrome Boys Podcast back when we were stuck at 79 subs for like 6 months. I made a bunch of accounts to try and get to 100. So this is a nice, fresh YouTube account, which I'm going to use exclusively to look up like schizonoid stuff. So hopefully it gets a really elite algorithm. That's the goal. When you don't have like anything on YouTube, you get The Office deleted scenes, Team Fortress 2 content, Mr. Beast, based Asmongold. Good stuff. You get a lot of good stuff. Fetterman, Bill Maher on Fetterman. Yeah, maybe this account does know what I like. You should click the live stream and make it a loop. That's a good idea. That is a really good idea. Really good idea. Okay, this is actually... Oh, man, because I'm on a slight delay. This is actually bugging me out. I'm going to pause that. I'm going to hit like, as should all of you. You guys should all hit like here. But yeah, we are not going to do that, actually. Because that is... Oh, man, look how many levels to the loop it's producing. Jesus. All right, we're good. We made it out of the loop. Everybody hit like, though. Hit like. Hit subscribe. Credit cards out. Nah, you don't have to hit your credit cards out for this one. This isn't like Sonic Wednesday where we don't even stop till we get a little taste. This is just for fun. This is just for fun, guys. Let's watch this 1,100 view video, 11. That's a significant number. Remember that. From Illusionautics. Let's check it out. Is this guy not going to talk? Thank you, Russ. Love you too, brother. Okay, this guy's not talking. I'm not loving this. The whole point of this was for me to not have to read. So we're going to watch this other one by Rad Randy's Most Tubular and Excellent Channel. What's up, Fats? Welcome back. Myron, Goblin, Ryan, Mandar, Sarah, Ben. Everybody's here. All the smart little boys are here. Was the Mario... It was a Patreon episode on PsyOp Cinema. I decided to bite the bullet and give them... Pay the 5 bits to those guys, because I've... I like their stuff. I like how they're annoyed guys who don't come off as, like... insane and retarded, and also know what they're talking about with movies and stuff. Oh, thank you, Mr. Gaines. But yeah, it was like I think their $5 Patreon tier is called MK Often or something, and they had 2 kind of mini episodes. They also had one on Spy Kids. Yeah, there's something. Yeah, I mean, doing a quick glance, I'm probably just going to pay for like 1 month and like listen to everything. But we'll see. I do like their stuff, and they are probably the podcast I get most like hyped when I see a new episode. One of the rare weekend streams. Yeah, let's go. We'll do our best, man. I'm feeling a little bit rusty here. But the soundboard's not. But we're going to get back into it. Get back into doing weekly ones. Okay, well, this one, this guy better talk.
The Nintendo 64 game, Super Mario 64, is loaded with occult symbolism. The castle's checkered floor pattern...
Checkered floor. Make a note of that.
Pyramids. The stars that Mario collects in each level...
Stars.
And many
note.
Other things
Make a note.
Are occult symbols and references. In each of the 15 levels, there are 7 stars Mario can collect. 6 regular stars, plus 1 more if Mario collects 100 coins.
Yeah, you know when a guy sounds like this, that you can kind of just trust him implicitly? Should I be making notes? Which one did I use to make... Which one had the cork board? That one was cool. Did I delete that one? I think it was Scrivener. It didn't work very well, but it just looks good. Oh yeah, Idaho Noid Truth. Yeah, okay, let's go. How do I start a new thing? Yeah, this was all... This is all my elite level notes we took for the Joker Burger trial, which I thought was case closed. I thought we had closed that case. You know what? We're just gonna write over this one. It doesn't matter. I just want to have the cork board to switch to be honest. Whoops.
In the level. The number 7 is the sacred
Careful,
number.
Hugh, reading is a psyop.
It took God 6 days to create the universe.
Oh, are you guys writing this down? Y'all remember at 2:38 in the morning on January 7th, 2020, Pence and Democratic Senator did a Masonic handshake, and Pence was given a challenge coin? That was odd. I do not remember that. Was he... Does anyone have the Let's see if YouTube can help us here. I'm curious to learn more. What's the deal with challenge coins? Are any of you guys challenge coin pilled? Oh, well, I thought I was going to do a stream thing there. Do that, we'll do. Stream thing there. Do that, we'll do. Stream thing. Yeah, this really throws me off because it comes out at a slight delay. And I feel like I have to be polite and stop. How are there only 7 likes? Come on, guys. There's 19 people in here. Let's hit that like button. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Mike Pence spelled wrong. Pence Masonic handshake challenge coin. Remember Pence's Garfield speech? No, I don't remember any of this. I was given a challenge coin by an Army Ranger at my best friend's dad's funeral. It looks aesthetic. True. What's the what's the story with challenge coins? I saw that Cash Patel has one of the most epic coins I've ever seen. It's not even shaped like a coin. It's like a frickin' Punisher skull made of guns. It's frickin' epic. Sorry, is what makes this Masonic? Is it the little second hand tap there? Like that? Does that make it Masonic? Oh, and there's his oh, what the hell? Huh, interesting. That's a little sus. And his Garfield speech. I mean, Garfield... I know we're doing, the esoteric secrets of baby games, but I feel like Garfield is probably too deep and evil for us to tap into right this very moment. I feel like Garfield is a whole other level. Not noited on challenge coins at all. We'll have to do a deep dive. Well, okay, I don't know. I think it's a thing that, police and army guys do, where, they all, make their own challenge coins and, trade them to each other. Let me see if I can find... Yeah, this one. This is Cash Patel's challenge coin there, which I imagine is probably pretty, gonna go for a pretty... I don't know if you can sell a challenge coin. That's probably poor form, to be honest. Challenge coin, the hedgehog. I don't know if Sonic has a challenge coin. That'd be interesting. I used to give my Vietnam vet neighbor free beer, and he gave me this weird 1800 silver coin he took from a dead guy. Is it wrong to sell it? No. Well, maybe. Maybe. You'd want to get someone to analyze if that's a haunted object or not, probably. Sonic equals good guy dog, Garfield, evil boomer lib cat. Yeah, real. True, real. Do they challenge each other? I think it's just you collect it or something. I don't know. How much of a Cash Patel simp do I have to be to get one of these challenge coins? They're awesome. I wonder if there's... And I think you just collect them. I think the challenge is just to collect them all. Oh, you can just buy them on Amazon. Epic. Selling it activates the curse. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I probably wouldn't sell that. I don't know. Also, I feel like that'd be cool to have personally. My Vietnam vet neighbor gave me a handful of gold teeth. It's not ethical to sell them. You should make a grill, brother. Just pop. If you lose one, you got a bunch of spares. I stole a challenge coin and war medal from a pool lost and found when I was 12, and the medal looks like some COD Prestige 1 icon, not returning it. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, at this point, I think that's yours. Egg plus man, egg, ova, female sex cell, symbol of the divine feminine, man, a man, Dr. Eggman is trans. That's disturbing news. That's disturbing news. That's one of the things I really like about Sonic Eggman, or fuck, it's not Sonic Eggman. Well, that's a Freudian slip, right, guys? Don't clip that. About Psyop Cinema is they'll just like drop these elaborate ass Noid terms I've never heard before and just like roll over it as if they didn't say anything. So I feel like in their Wall Street one, which was their new one, they kept saying the like Anglo-Judeo-Satanic something. I don't know. It's a great show. But yeah, Dr. Eggman being trans that's a sorry, where's my frickin' Chris Nuke? I'll have to look through my shit to find my challenge coin. I remember it being odd at the time because the guy who gave it to me didn't know me. Yeah, I don't know. Should I get into coins? Should I become a coin guy? Interesting 3% choice. Huberg, thank you. Yes, Ben, you can sell those. I think that's the teeth. I think you should hang on to those. Cursed Chrome Boys challenge coin merch. Maybe. It could happen. Sonic, pure, fast, good guy against the evil, inverted Eggman. That's true. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, there was that very distressing picture we looked at earlier. I don't know if I still have it here. Right here. A very distressing picture of May Sonic the Hedgehog. But I still believe in my heart of hearts that Sonic is a white hat. And that this type of imagery that's the inversion. And that's somebody trying to besmirch Sonic's good name. Probably in the name of evil. Challenge coin game is a bar game of sorts. Basically, you have a coin at the ready, and if you can't produce one, you have to buy a round of drinks for the other guys in the unit. Interesting. Because I know it's something to do with, like, cops and army mans. They like having their challenge coins. Which I think I should get into coins. I think I should be a coin guy. Maria didn't die. ... She evolved. True. Real. Hugh, imagine that feeling of not knowing everyone uses an acronym or internet. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, that's got to be tough. Coins is a dark hole. First coins, and then it'll be on to model planes in no time. Don't do it, Hugh. Becoming a coins guy is just a euphemism for converting to Judaism. Perhaps. Do it. White, male, 30s. Time to collect coins. This guy gets it. Birdsuit gets it. But Hugh, aren't you a small percentage coin guy already? Well, perhaps, yeah. But I could pump those numbers, right? I could go full coin guys. Coin/crystal guys are so dope. Yeah. Coin guys, yes. Crystal guys, I don't know if a crystal guy is going to be that cool. Maybe. Aren't crystals more of... I feel like crystals are for girls and coins are for boys. And coins are kind of like the boy version of crystals. What do we think about that? Thanks for checking the ledger. 3%. I don't know where the 3% came from. I haven't done the calculations on the level of coin guy that I have. But 3% might be wildly overshooting it for all I know. Sonic, rings, Mario, coins. Think about it. Yeah, well, that's the thing that was brought up is in Mario, because Sonic is powered by rings, right? So Sonic is doing what one might call ring magic, right? And what do we use rings for? It's a real question. I don't know. You use them for getting diamonds. You can put a diamond on them. Oh, everything's coming together. Hassan, right? Yeah, that's true. You can use them for being like a Hassan ring guy, or you can be like a gas station, like skull ring guy, which is kind of cool, I guess. But basically, I think we can all agree that rings are good. Coins equal crystals. Stock market equals astrology. Yes. Okay. Yes. I get that. Yeah. And I think I'm just more of a coin guy. If one of you guys are into crystals, go for it. 3%? Who says I'm 2%? I can't believe you're accusing me of being 1%. Hey. Mm-hmm. Hassan has many rings. Is he Sonic coded? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think he's more of a Mario guy, I would guess. Mario is definitely Masonic. Sonic being Masonic is pure besmirchment. I agree, 100%. Accurate. True. Truth nuke. This is a truth nuke coming down, not a Chris nuke. I think, because, I mean, they're kind of throwing it in our frickin' face that he's got I don't have the picture up anymore, but he's got a frickin' M on his hat for Mason. That's also like a 3, which makes a lot of sense once you dig into it. Sonic is a redemptive spirit running through the rings of hell. I'm anti-ring for the Oh, right, Myron's a Sonic guy. Or no, a Mario guy. Anti-ring. He's more into, I guess, star magic. I guess. Become a knife guy. Seek arm ring is pretty tight. I don't know what that is. But having seek at the beginning makes me a little iffy on it. You put a ring on a femoid's finger for marriage. Does that mean Sonic is a girl? Well, no, Sonic is courting. He's trying to gather enough rings so he can court. Which of the hot chicks in Hot Chick Heaven is Sonic's? Is that Amy? Or is it Rouge? Who? I'm hearing it's Amy. My mom used her ring hand for smacking me. You mentioned on a stream podcast that you had a big news that you might be 3%, and I just took that as law. 3%? Why are you accusing me of being 2%? Who said I was 1%? Rings are to get married. Mario. Travook. Ooh. Sonic the Hedgehog, I think we've already discussed. That's an inverted lie. Although, I would really prefer if Mario was the evil one. That would be a lot more convenient for me. Rings are for holy covenants. True. How dare you, Amy? It's Sally Acorn. Let's go. Sonic is a girl if you're strong. Yeah. Sonic is trying to bag a baddie. That makes more sense. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. Collecting 7 Chaos Emeralds, a.k.a. Satanic Devil Rocks. I think the thing is that there is... This is my theory. I'm just going to throw this out there. That the thing with Sonic is that Sonic, like the universe... is full of evil satanic stuff. Mostly coming from, as we discussed earlier, Professor Eggman, the inverted man-woman scientist, and that Sonic is a white hat in a black hat world, you know? Whereas Mario is a red hat. What is a red hat? I know. Do we have anyone? Is anyone here super familiar with Real Raw News lore? What is the meaning of the red hat? How would I even search that? Real. Because I know he talks about red hats. I think they're bad. Okay, the red hat's sour on Trump. Yeah, these are guys. If you're looking for news sources. The only 2 you can trust, BBC Pigeon, Real Raw News. Well, yeah, it is white hat, black hat, but I know that the red hats are like a secret third thing of the hats. of the types of hats somebody might wear. Truth Acorn. Yeah, real. Mario always working, never gets peach, not even ruling the kingdom. Mario is the Goy model projection. There comes a Truth Acorn. Mario is the plumber who never actually plums. I feel like there's probably some significance there. Real, yeah, man, we need Real Raw News in Pigeon, because this it's really hard to understand, and if they could just, like, Pigeonify it. I wonder if there's, like, a Firefox extension to turn everything into Pigeon. You really only have to change, like, a couple words. Okay, so let's learn what the red hats are, because I'm pretty confident that's what Mario is. A spokesman for the man who goes by the moniker Colonel Kurtz, the enigmatic leader of the mysterious Red Hats, told Real Raw News on Sunday that President Donald J. Trump and his administration have crossed the ethereal line that demarks patriotism from autocratic rule and must be checked to prevent further erosion of the United States Constitution. Guys, he crossed the ethereal line. Okay, so what are the Red Hats? Sonic is an RN NEET who does his own thing at his own speed. Mario is a simp who LARPs as a plumber. That's a Truth Acorn. Truth Acorn. The sudden shift marks the third time in 2 years that Red Hats have trepidations about Trump's ability to make America great again and restore its prominence to the world stage. During a contentious meeting with General Eric M. Smith in May 2024, Kurtz referred to Trump as the lesser of two evils. And okay, what are the Red Hats? Come on, Real Raw News. Red Hats. Mario is a blue-collar, hardworking Italian Roman Catholic. I will not abide by this slander. Okay, it's tearing the community apart, guys. Guys, our community is being torn apart. Come on, Real Raw News. What's going on here? Sonic as an avatar is the embodiment of soul aspect. Mario is a man, and man can hold secrets the soul cannot. The Red Hats are the friends we made along the way. Yeah, listen, I had a feeling that this was probably going to be the most contentious thing that we've ever put out on this channel. I had a feeling that might be the case. Red Hats go Obama hunting. Well, that's an article I want to read. Yeah, let's go. Let's freaking go. Fats and Ben are making good points. Perhaps I judged him too quickly. Maybe. That might be true. You know what? Because it could be a similar thing where Mario is existing in a world full of esoteric and evil significance. But he is, in fact... Because here's the thing. According to Real Raw News, it seems like the Red Hats are sort of complicated figures who do things like go Obama hunting, which is kind of interesting. Red Hats have interpreted the DOJ's investigation of Barack Hussein Obama as a license to hunt down the Dark Lord and put his head on the chopping block. These Red Hats are kind of talking some sense, actually. After President Trump publicly called Obama a traitor and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard displayed a flowchart linking Obama to 2017's Russiagate scandal and subsequently sent I'm just going to set up the thunder thing. I think we're going to need it for this. After President Tulsi Gabbard displayed a flowchart linking Obama to 2017's Russiagate scandal and subsequently sent the DOJ a criminal referral, Red Hats resolved to locate the deep state architect themselves so they can deliver a swift justice devoid of bureaucratic red tape, infinite committee debates, and fraudulent D.C. grand juries that will never indict Obama. If Obama survives, so too does the deep state, a Red Hat source told Real Raw News. This was published in July 26 of this year. It's pretty recent. I was sort of under the impression Obama was already dead, but I guess, like, the Red Hats are still after. So, I don't know what to think about these Red Hat guys. They kind of seem all right. According to him, the leader of the Red Hats, the elusive and mysterious Colonel Kurtz, has mustered nearly 12,000 men globally to unearth Obama and deliver him to Kurtz, who has apparently appointed himself the arbiter of Obama's fate. The Red Hat... I love Real Raw News. What an awesome site. I remember that Obama pic from the 2016 Schizo days. Good times, lol. Yeah, I miss the Q stuff, man. I really liked the Q stuff. I feel like it was more fun than whatever we got going on now. I think there's an extension that reads text for you on Firefox. I used it in uni. Trump's presidency can only end with him defeating a god like in a JRPG. Yeah, well, there's one right there. The Dark Lord Obama. That would be kind of the fitting coda, right? When they do the UFC on the White House lawn, if Obama is like brought out in, like, I don't know, shackles or something, and they have to fight kind of like in Dune, you know, in Dune 2, fight like that. Take off his chains. I'll do this the real way. Was that video of John Podesta in the basement in makeup while a kid called him Skippy real? Probably, yes. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. Bowser Hussein Obama, the Dark Lord, real, true. Truth Acorn coming in. Dark Lord Obama versus Republicus Trump. Yeah, exactly. Exactly that. So true. I want to find out more about this Obama hunting, though. Okay, Colonel Kurtz delivered himself arbiter of Obama's fate. The Red Hats volunteer army of 12,000 guys, he added, includes prior service military and patriotic LEOs. Probably a lot of challenge coins going around in this Red Hat scene, willing to sacrifice themselves if it means crippling the deep state ecosystem. Obama's removal, he said, would render the deep state rudderless and enervated, at least for a while. Mario does descend into the sewers to fight reptilians, much to think about. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Ben and Fats have made some I think, valid points here, that it might be that Mario himself is not like an evil guy, but like there is evil going on in the Mushroom Kingdom that Mario is not necessarily responsible for. And I thought when we discovered that he was a Red Hat, I thought that was kind of like a kill shot, that like, okay, like, let's be real, he's a Red Hat. But now I'm learning that the Red Hats are actually a much more kind of complicated and nuanced organization. Goodwill Obama hunting. Yeah. Okay, that's another Truth Acorn coming in here. Prima Nocta writes in the Mushroom Kingdom, very dark. Yeah, because that makes sense. I mean, we've already established here that Eggman, inverted, trans, Chaos Emeralds, sick stuff. But it's probably the case that Bowser is doing similar stuff, and like Mario, is a Red Hat hunting Obama. Which, can't really argue with that. Is the separation between Sonic and Mario just another psyop we fell for? I think there's a very real possibility that that's the case. Mario does collect coins, not rings. Right. And now that I think about it, collecting coins, pretty based. That's the type of thing a patriotic LEO would be into. So maybe we have this Mario guy all wrong the whole time. Isn't Bowser India coded? Maybe. He's like a turtle, I guess, or like a dinosaur or something. Don't love that. Red hats and white hats agree on one point. Obama is the deep state's linchpin, and pulling the pin will trigger a cascading collapse within the deep state's hierarchy. Without Obama's leadership and guidance, his underlings first run around like headless chickens, disorganized, and then turn on each other, each vying for Obama's position. Eggman cracks eggs, eggs cracking, trans, Eggman gives children bathtub moonshine. It's all coming together. It sure is. It sure is. Goblin. Bowser isn't Indian because Peach actually seems to want him most of the time. Wait, does Peach want Bowser? What? Wasn't it recently confirmed that Mario and Peach are like just friends? You're telling me that Peach is into this? Bowser, Dennis Hopper. Ganon is Indian coded, that's for sure. Which one's Ganon? Yeah. Yeah. So is he fatigue people? I don't know. What is Bowser? What's the like racist connection we can make for Bowser? He's kind of like a big turtle who has red hair. Much to consider there. Mario is friend-zoned. Sonic would never. That's true. Much to consider there. Much to consider. Let's just skim this article. Read the bottom paragraph here. Asked why Kurtz and General Smith haven't formed an alliance to ensnare Obama, he said, "Look, we've worked with the White Hats before. Sometimes it worked out, and sometimes it didn't. The matter of fact is, we're willing to go the extra mile, and we're not, restrained like they are. We know they're searching for him too, but we want his head on a guillotine instead of a courtroom." Oh, wait a second. Sorry, I have to read the paragraph above this. Okay, I might have to read this whole damn article. Paragraph above. Asked how the Red Hats would distinguish the real Obama from his body doubles and clones, he answered, "Maybe 2 or 3 doubles are running around, but not scores of them like White Hats say. That's their excuse for not catching him. Oh, we can't catch him because there are 300 Obamas out there." Don't you hate when that happens? Don't you hate when you're trying to hunt Obama and there's 300 of them running around? Bowser is black. Peach got a taste for the jungle and hasn't looked back. Peach has never wanted Bowser. This is slander against the Ariane princess. I think that's probably true. I'm just going to go ahead and say that's true. Ganon from Zelda, Indian Muslim for sure. Ganon is for countersign looking out for his fellow Aryan-based. Ganon is for real Muslim Indian. Do you guys know the Obama gay theories? Yes. Do I know them? Yes, I believe them. 100%. Lost my 300 Obama clones again. Hate when that happens. Yeah. Yeah, man. Truth Acorn. Donkey Kong is black. Bowser is DJ Pauly D. Yeah, he does have like kind of spiky red hair. Do we think Bowser could be Irish? What do we think about that? Michael O. Bowser? Oh yeah, let's
the verse. And then he rested on the 7th day. And the seed of life contains 7 circles. There are 2 unfinished pyramids in the game. The level Shifting Sandland has a giant pyramid that's capstone will be removed if Mario collects the 4 red coins on the pillars. One of the stars that Mario collects in the same level is called Shining Atop the Pyramid. This is a reference to the all-seeing eye of the Masonic
pyramid. You guys writing this down?
Pyramid. In the courtyard where the level Boo's Haunt can be found is another unfinished pyramid that has a star sitting atop it. This is another reference to the unfinished pyramid. And this pyramid also has an inscription on it that reads either El Israel 2401 or Eternal Star. There are 2 competing theories with that one. I'm not sure what El Israel 2401 would mean, but if it's Eternal Star, that would be a reference to the all-seeing eye that sits atop the pyramid as a representation of God. Someone once reached out and contacted Nintendo about the inscription, and they received a letter that said there was no actual meaning to the inscription.
Yeah, likely story. Real frickin' likely story, Nintendo of America. Isn't the Nintendo of America's guy literally named Bowser? Am I, misremembering that? Bowser is Irish Italian. That I believe. I feel like Bowser is a German guy. That could be too. Irish, German, Italian, perhaps. Diddy Kong is black. Donkey Kong is West African. Okay. Plausible. Can you turn down the Schizo YouTube video? Yes. Yes, I can. Ben, Bowser's wizard accomplice, is definitely German. Who's his wizard accomplice? I don't actually know my Mario lore very much. Wario is quasi-German. We're going to have to get in. I feel like we've breached a whole new category of exploration for the taxonomy channel.
But you can never be too sure when it comes to given explanations about occult symbolism. Another occult reference in the Shifting Sand Land level is the Hamza or Hamza. They can be found inside the pyramid after the capstone is removed. The Hamza, Hand of Mary, or Hand of Fatima, is an ancient occult symbol of protection, usually a depiction of the divine feminine that looks like a hand with an eye in the palm, and it's often used as an amulet to ward off the evil eye. Speaking of the evil eye, there are new
sinister stuff, folks. Sinister stuff. Wario is Polish. That's quasi-German. Wario is Greek. Agreed. Wario, Waluigi are German. Turkish, maybe. Same difference. Am I right, fellas? Wario is Sicilian, which is a darker, more evil Italian. Yeah, actually, that makes sense. If Mario is like normal Italian, and Wario is just like the more evil. Because what's the opposite of an Italian? Could be a Sicilian. Is a German an opposite of an Italian? Yeah, I think Sicilian makes sense. The dark and swarthoid Italian. That's making a lot of sense.
Numerous floating eyeballs in the game that are references to the evil eye. All of these eyes have blue irises, and in the Eastern Mediterranean, it's believed that blue eyes are especially prone to giving others the evil eye. The checkered floor pattern that covers the entire castle is a reference to the Masonic mosaic pavement found in many Masonic lodges. The checkered floor supposedly dates back to the temples in ancient Egypt and the floor of Solomon's Great Temple, which Masonic lodges are based on. The checkered floor symbolizes duality in all forms and man's baser earthly aspects.
Honestly, I kind of disagree with his interpretation of the of the evil eye. Let me see if I can eye color chart. Okay, that's very fuzzy. Okay, I feel like that's the evil eye right there. But, I mean, because he was sort of saying that the evil eye zone is right in here, where I would probably put it somewhere more down here personally, but difference of opinion perhaps. Japanese is the opposite of Italian. Ironically, I guess Italian was the most exotic type of guy Nintendo could think. That's probably true. Speaking of the Mediterranean, it was a nice touch to add the checkerboard soundproof panels in the background for this episode. Thank you. He seems like he's gotten it completely backwards. The evil eye gem is protective. Is that I don't actually know my Mario lore very well.
The ceiling of the castle lobby depicts the sky. The ceiling of many Masonic lodges also have depictions of the sky on them. These Masonic depictions symbolize both the heavens and the spiritual nature of man. Besides the checkerboard floor and skied ceiling, there are also other references to duality in the game. Wet Dry World and Tiny Huge Island are both levels named after this concept. The game's villain, Bowser, is a fire-breathing mixture of a dragon and a turtle. This is similar to many mythological battles between man and a serpent.
The evil eye Malakio, Wards of Evil. It's not Mario lore. The evil eye is IRL Mediterranean and Middle Eastern lore. I've seen crystal bitches wear that eye medallion. Sorry, what should I search for this? Like evil eye Mediterranean? Evil eye Mediterranean? The evil eye is a supernatural belief in a curse brought about by a malevolent glare, usually inspired by envy. Amulets to protect against it have been found dating to around 5,000 years ago. Oh, so you use this medallion of like a shining A10 to reflect envy? What is the stream's hypothesis going into this investigation? Well, I know typically what we do is we throw out our hypothesis at the beginning before we do any research and then kind of fill in the blanks to make sure that everything lines up with that nicely. This is more of an exploratory mission, I would say. I had heard some rumblings that Sonic and Mario might be evil. I didn't want it to be true. So it's sort of a fact-checking thing, I think. That's what I'm thinking here. I know a guy who works security for the Masons in the UK. He said they were actually boring as fuck. Yeah, that's probably true. I think, I need to learn more about Masons, but I would guess they're probably all real boring, maybe all the way through, or maybe up until you're like a 33rd, whatever. Tough to say. I think we're along for the ride and see where it takes us. Yeah. This one is less of a, we already know the answer, and we're just going to kind of like confirm our biases for a couple hours. This is more of like, let's just see what happens, you know? This might be maybe it'll be a one-time thing. Maybe we'll spend the rest of our lives digging into this. Who knows? Of a beautiful A10 to reflect evil gazes. Well, that's true. Well, that's pretty true. Just digging for anything interesting, yes. Is Bowser a landlord? If so, Bowser. I don't know. I don't think so. He's a frickin' turtle.
Zeus and Typhon, Thor and Jormungandr, Ra and Apep, St. George and the Dragon, Heracles and Hydra, Anu and Tiamat, and others. Mario has to fight Bowser 3 times in the game. These battles could be seen to symbolize man's battles with the 3 things that will destroy him: wrong thought, wrong feeling, and wrong action. The first 2 times Mario fights Bowser, they duel on an octagon-shaped platform. There is another octagon shown in the game that surrounds an image of the sun and the lobby of the castle. The octagon is a two-dimensional...
Okay, for you Mario 64 heads, is the castle Mario's, or is it like a sinister place he's been trapped and has to escape by jumping into paintings? Bowserburg. It can't be that simple. Is it Bowser's castle that he's renting to Mario?
which is a four-dimensional cube. The hypercube...
It's Peach's castle.
realm of existence. The three standard dimensions of depth plus time. Dark occultists believe the hypercube is a prison that the ignorant masses of man reside in, which allow...
Damn, that rules. The channel is Rad Randy's most tubular and excellent channel. And he has 2 videos, both from 8 years ago. Occult symbols in Mario 64, and occult, esoteric, and Freemason symbols in Doctor Strange. That's awesome. It's an awesome channel to have. Peach's castle. The castle's been taken over by Bowser, but it belongs to Peach. The floor plan of the castle is the same as the cathedral in D.C. he invaded. Ben, are you for real? Yeah, it's 1-to-1. So Peach has the evil paintings. The castle belongs to the princess. Whoa, I agree with the whoa. Because I don't know if we can trust this Peach. Perhaps Princess Peach is not the beautiful Aryan goddess that we were all led to believe. And actually she's keeping these evil paintings that you, like, transport to other worlds in a sort of monarch. Yeah, I'm going to look it up too. DC Cathedral? Surely DC must have, like, a couple cathedrals, eh? It seems to mostly be this one, so it looks like that. Mario 64 Castle. Oh my god. It's literally identical. I think the stars made the paintings magical, or maybe the paintings were always magical. Okay, because this is one of those things where I've heard people say there's something to do with transporting to magical worlds. It's something sinister. Rosalina greater than Peach. Rosalina, spicy Latina. Oh no, she's not a spicy Latina at all. In fact, she's the opposite of a spicy Latina. Wow, what game is this from? Internet schizos esoterics need better microphones. Not seeing it, but could be a truth acorn. Does the because it doesn't look like it has checkered floors. It looks like it has cube floors. Much to consider there. Watching internet schizos is like listening to a second wave black metal bootlegs. It's part of the flavor. Yeah, I did have... Did I save those videos somewhere? Have any of you guys ever taken my advice to check out True Theorisy? Because he is the king of internet schizo videos. He is so good. I don't know if he's got content. This is where the original Making Connections came from. Rosalina is from Mario Galaxy. Because apparently with what was I going to say? In some of the games, apparently they have like star kids, which are kind of similar to the Star Child, which is kind of similar to the Moon Child, which is one of those things that I haven't really like looked into, but I know is like something we should all be worried about. Mosquito. I need to find a short one. 55 seconds. COVID-19. We'll just watch a bit of one. This guy is the master. Salem, Daybell, Witch Cult, Minneapolis. Yeah, let's check out this one. This is a blast from the past.
Is that no one's really got it figured out just yet?
Is he gonna? Oh, he needs to talk.
Assuming this is going to be a really Aloha everyone, this is True Theorisy, House of Wisdom. So this is going to be a really quick video, but I keep seeing it and I just want to address it and solve it and prove it and place it among the facts so that we can move on to other issues. This is video number 4 called Derek Chauvin, Hand in Pocket. So everybody keeps assuming, making comments, why is his hand in his pocket? Other people are saying he had his hand in his pocket because he's going to shoot somebody. Well guys, it's all bullshit, which stems from assuming, because it's all 100% wrong. They did a little investigating, as I said before, a little research. You would discover the truth very quickly, that his hand is not in his pocket whatsoever. He's actually wearing black gloves, so his hand is on his leg or his thigh or his
Okay,
hip,
it's
whatever.
busted wide open. He has some, man, I mean, his other stuff, when he hits, he really hits. I need to find one of where he's actually getting into it. The Kobe sacrifice predictive blood. Okay, yeah, this should be good.
This game ain't over, mama. I'll see you again.
Okay, hopefully he'll start talking. He doesn't even need to talk. He's so powerful.
Just pass me the trophy.
Just one soul went out soul, sir.
And how many shoes do you have in the store?
How many do I have in
How many shoes are in the store?
Uh,
Now, can I get the soles without the shoes?
the outsoles?
Yes, I want the soles. I need the soles. How to use your head as a basketball.
Oh, where'd the Kobe one go? Okay, Kobe's son sacrifices part 1.
The clouds or the fog.
He just
You know what his story is.
come on, man. Come on, man. Well, drop the channel name, please. It's called True Theorisy 3. And it's only available on Odyssey. I had to do some digging to find it. I wonder, oh man, does he have his Michael Jordan one on here? Because he had this like unbelievable one on Michael Jordan that is like one of the best Noid videos of all time. That was around on YouTube. In fact, the Chrome Boys Discord icon thing is taken from a Truth Heresy video. I wonder if it's all the way back. And I had to do some digging before I could find this archive that has like not many views on it at all. Oh man, it when he's good, he's so good. Saturn FL the Bible Part 1. I wonder if I can find the Michael Jordan one. Bull God of the Bible. Bull God of the Bible. These might have it. Let's see here. Part 4, Part 1. .avi. Let's go.
By Jeff. Aloha and shalom. I'm making this video to show a wonderful site that I found called the Ancient Hebrew Research Center, made by Jeff Brenner. He has made some intriguing videos taking...
Okay, here. This one's still up on YouTube.
Michael Jordan, The Illuminati, Part 2. Let's get serious.
We're watching a master at work here, by the way.
I'm making this video, Part 2, to Michael Jordan, The Illuminati, because when I made my first video, people seemed to think that it was satire, or that it was a joke, or perhaps I just didn't like Michael Jordan, and it wasn't my favorite team or whatever. But the truth is much deeper than I think anyone is really willing to face. You see, the truth is, I have nothing against Michael Jordan whatsoever on a personal level. He has absolutely nothing really to do with what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how the Illuminati uses figures like Michael Jordan for their
I think this is what happened to Mario. Just saying.
symbolic agenda. You see, Michael Jordan is just a pawn in the game. He is a puppet to the masters, the elite, the elders of the Illuminati, who use famous figures so that you will idolize and worship what they want you to worship. And that is their bull god of the Bible. So you can watch a number of my videos where I explain in detail about the fascination and the worshiping of the sacred bull god since ancient times by the elders or the elite.
But yeah, this is really all coming together that I think this is exactly everything that he's saying about Michael Jordan, I think is also true of Mario.
The rulers of the world. In previous videos, I have clearly explained about the worship of the winged bull from ancient civilizations like the Assyrians, the Akkadians, and the Babylonians, for example. And this ancient winged bull is known as the Shedu or the Lamassu. It is the cherub. That's right, it's the angel that is seen in the Bible.
There's one of those giant Iraqi human-headed griffin statues in Chicago. Is Chicago an evil city? I know you're from there, Ben. I'm not accusing you of being evil, but just in general, is Chicago evil? I sometimes get that impression that it's like a sinister and evil place. Didn't the Israelites sacrifice kids to that bull guy statue? I believe they did, yes. Okay, I'm getting some yeses in the chat regarding Chicago's evil, and then I'm also getting it's not evil, it's just full of power. Many don't understand. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, maybe I'm just getting the wrong impression because of it's so powerful. But I sometimes do get the impression that Chicago is kind of a distinctly evil city. Take a look at the demographics and you tell me. I think we need to just go back in time and stop Babylon from ever forming. It seems like everything evil in the modern day originated from there. That could be the case, yes. Chicago doesn't feel nice to be in. As an Illinoisian, I don't go. Chicago is a massive physical and spiritual machine. Ben, can you elaborate? Never been. Yes, true. I agree with that. Yes, I also don't know. Endless vice. Christ would stop you. The rate of child trafficking in Chicago and St. Louis are crazy. What's the deal with the bean? Is the bean evil? Is the bean evil at least? What's going on with the bean? The bean seems like it's kind of like the Midwestern version of the Israel Wall. Am I right on that? Sort of the remnants of an ancient bean temple of some sort, perhaps.
With the 4 attributes. With the human head that has bull horns and a beard. The body of a lion, as well as a bull who has the bull hooves or feet.
In my town, they found a bunch of kids strung up in dog cages in the woods. They were going to St. Louis. Is St. Louis evil? Is St. Louis the type of place you wouldn't want to meet somebody in? The bean is a 3-dimension scrying shape that faces the Sears Tower. But St. Louis is evil. Okay, so Chicago, just spiritually powerful, scrying, Sears Tower. St. Louis, it's just evil. It seems like there are a number of... Actually, I don't even know. I don't have an example of this. Chicago, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to dig into Chicago one of these days. Evil or just spiritually powerful? You be the judge. St. Louis is evil. Mel Gibson, St. Louis native here. South City is becoming just as bad as North now. Many spots I grew up with are now kidnapping hotspots. Currently in St. Louis, yes, it's pretty dark and grim here. Dang. St. Louis has the Arch. Didn't St. Louis also be the spot they did the World's Fair at? I feel like St. Louis used to be like a hip and happening place, and now it's some like hellhole. I think they did the World's Fair in a bunch of different places. 'Cause I think there was a big one in Chicago, and there was a big one in New York. And in that Jack Parsons book I just read, it was talking about one in like the late 20s, early 30s, where they built this like giant like metal orb or something like that was like 3 blocks wide, but they had to take it down to build tanks during World War II or something like that. It's weird that out of the 17 viewers here, there's 3 of us living in the same area. Huh, yeah. I guess Chrome Boys have a big St. Louis contingent. What state is St. Louis in? It's in Missouri? Fact check me in the comments there. Big things happening in the chat. True. Yeah, it used to be beautiful. It's more amazing that there are viewers outside the Midwest. True. I mean, I'll be real. I feel like Alberta is kind of like the Midwest of Canada in some regards. Synchronicities are lighting up my neural circuits. Yeah, the whole Missouri gang is all out here. I'm not a Tartaria guy, but why did they build wonderful architecture for the World's Fair and then tear it all down? That I don't know. I've never really dug into Tartaria that much. My impression for the World's Fair is like there's just a period in time where people had this like optimism towards the future and we're kind of like building this cool shit, and now we've all had our spirits crushed into dust. These pics of the World's Fair in St. Louis are insane. Let me just minimize that. World's Fair St. Louis. There are pics of the Missouri and Illinois. St. Louis sucks. The center of the fire looked like glowing metal, And in the fire was what looked like 4 living creatures. In appearance, their form was human, but each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings. Their legs were straight. Their feet were like those of a calf and gleamed in burnished bronze. Huh, interesting. What's up, Nick? What's that in reference to? Hate you guys. Oh, come on, man. Nick dropping Javooks. Sorry, did I miss something? What is that Javook in reference to? Because nothing built for the World's Fair was meant to last. That could be true. I know, okay, I didn't look this up, but there was like New York World's Fair giant orb. I think it was a giant orb. The Unisphere? That's not it. It was earlier than that. Oh, yeah, the giant Trilon and Perisphere for the 1939 one. But yeah, I honestly have not looked into Tartaria stuff. I don't know what the... Yeah, this is what they built. They built a giant... what they just call it? It was like a Peri... That they had shapes back in the day that we don't even have anymore. The Trilon and Perisphere. I probably would have been a normal person if I grew up somewhere else, but it's super antisocial around here. Eye contact is pretty much a crime. Oh, you had Ezekiel 1:5 up on the screen. But I put down the actual quote. Okay, yes. Javook. Yeah, I don't believe the World's Fair narrative at all. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with that. Tartaria has never really hit me in the blit. But it is cool. I wish I had a giant Trilon and Perisphere outside of my house. They repurposed a lot of the World's Fair building materials to make houses in the hill, because apparently these things got torn down during World War II because they needed the metal, is what that one book said. I do love St. Louis, actually. They no hate for the Chrome Boys, just for Poor Man Chicago. Sorry, is St. Louis Poor Man Chicago? In terms of city life, I'd rather be here than any city with plus 1 million people. Ben, where do we go to get anointed on St. Louis esoteric lore? Look up the romance of a people. Can I copy and paste? Romance of a People, 1933, St. Louis World Fair. The Romance of the People was not held at the 1933 St. Louis World's Fair, but was a major Jewish cultural pageant at the 1933 Chicago World's Fair. What is, what's going on there? A lot of St. Louis lore is buried. We will never learn much about it. Mudslides next Sunday. There's a fair bit of voodoo kings in St. Louis Forbidden Gains. Just visited Gaines. The city is French-inspired a lot. Hard to explain. I don't know what that is, Mel. Voodoo kings. Underlying bedrock of St. Louis is slightly water-soluble, leading to a large underground cave system that has not been fully explored. As a Jew, I know tunnels. Ben, get in the Discord and drop Travooks. Not going to any major city till the kids are grown. Let's put on our thinking caps for a sec. Ben, the Discord is wonderful. Ben's in the Discord. He's an esteemed member of the Discord. He goes by a slightly different name there, but it also has Ben in it. That's the key. Nick, quick, a homeless guy was talking to me about this a few months ago. He said he was trying to design a mechanism to keep the plates from colliding. Good luck to him. He wanted to wrap everyone in the city in rope or something. Okay, but for real, what's going on with this 1933 Jewish reenactment of Moloch, Yahweh, child sacrifice, celebrating their heritage? Come on, guys. Do they still do World's Fairs? I haven't heard of one recently. They're definitely not building cool, like, trilons and paraspheres. That's for sure. This is odd, though. This is odd.
And then the wings that represent the eagle wings. So the truth is, this Malach, or the messenger of the Bible, the angel, is really just...
They don't need to do World's Fairs. They already built the new world and destroyed the old one. Details of the Romance of a People sponsor the Jewish Agency for Palestine. You guys are going to make me wear out my thunder button here. The last World's Fair was BioShock Infinite. Yeah, no one took it. Yeah, it's there's probably something there, yeah. No more World's Fair. We used to have E3, but they took that. Yeah, man. Never forget what they took from us. America does big hippie festivals now, so no grand fairs. Yeah, I guess like the modern World's Fair would be like Burning Man, where they do pagan wood sacrifice. We should look up into Burning Man one of these days, actually. That would be a good one. I feel like there's some sinister stuff going on there. Damn, I always thought the city was a nothing burger. I have to look up this shit more. Yeah, I thought Chicago was the locus of... Well, okay, actually, what's the most evil city in America? San Francisco, St. Louis, New York, Chicago. It would have to be L.A., maybe. Sorry, chat is flying past me here. St. Louis hosted the first modern Olympics outside of Greece. Interesting. St. Louis is sitting on a ley line and struggles to express the power outward. The power was hoovered like oil by Chicago. I quite like Ben's esoteric Chicago posting. 7-Up was invented in St. Louis. Burning Man is evil. Case closed. That's probably basically that. I went to the burn. I was convinced I got an STD there. Damn. You went to the burn. St. Louis was referred to as the Rome of the West. Yeah, I think St. Louis used to be really nice. Okay, now we're getting into your guys' picks for most evil city in America. St. Louis was, it would have to be L.A. The city is in New Mexico. What's the city in New Mexico? Isn't that like Albuquerque? Isn't that the big city there? I'm hearing another report of L.A. St. Louis dominated the Midwest up until the 20th century. L.A., Los Angeles, a lot of L.A.'s coming through here. Seattle or Portland. Portland a close second. I think that would be after L.A. St. Louis Arch is as wide as it's tall. I don't think they hit people over the head with bike locks in L.A. My Midwestern friend who introduced me to the podcast just left L.A. for home, saying it was too demonic. A lot of American cities used to be really... Well... Yeah, a lot of cities used to be nice. So L.A., I'm seeing a lot of L.A. here as America's most evil city. But L.A. is the city where dreams are made. L.A.'s got to take it. I was at the Arch today. There's a cathedral right next to it. I went to Mass. That's cool. Yeah, Breaking Bad city. L.A. or Portland. L.A. has the most evil exports, at least. LA is the city where dreams go to die. We might have to do a deep dive on LA. I know somewhere I have a list of potential topics, and one of them was Hollyweird mysteries. That could probably dovetail pretty nicely with LA. I got to drive around LA before they switched away from sodium lights, and you wouldn't want it to be less evil. Denver is evil as well. It's over for American cities. It will never be the same. Land of dream corruption. Shout out State Dyer. LA is the birthplace of suburbia. Yeah, I've heard, what's the sitch with the Denver airport? Oh, Mike Pence's Garfield speech. Let's just check this out quickly.
Garfield. But someone...
Okay.
I rise today for the awesome and important duty to pay a happy birthday wish to Garfield. Not President Garfield, but someone probably more famous in this day and age than that.
This is 100% real, by the way, guys. He should have been president, right? Yeah, Denver's very strange. Never dug too deep, but from what I saw, it was fucky. I just went there in the summer, didn't get to see any of the cool artwork. Denver thought they were going to explode in population because of weed legalization, and now the inhabitants live in a city that is like Anne Orlando if it was a mall. Ben, you should do a podcast where you do esoteric city facts. You seem like you're full of them. Colorado hides a lot of darkness. Denver is by far the shittiest city I've ever been to. Everywhere else is beautiful, though. I have, like, positive associations with Colorado. I don't know. I was under the impression that it was, like, nice. Because I like the Rockies a lot, but that's pretty unfortunate that it's evil. Only pure cities are Pittsburgh and Phoenix, as far as I know. Interesting. Denver Airport was built as a cover for an underground complex for continuity of government in a worst-case scenario. NORAD is also in Colorado, I believe, along with Mount Shasta. I don't know what that is. My eyes are rolled back in my head, and my hand is on a small bee in shape. Yeah. Ben is powering that Chicago bean magic. That's awesome. Yeah, Ben has all sorts of interesting stuff. I really like all this bean magic fueled city lore. The mountains west of Denver are the most amazing place in the USA. See, I would believe that. I haven't been to the Colorado one specifically, but like the BC Rocky Mountains are awesome. I love the Rocky Mountains. Colorado is the most beautiful country I've ever seen. Denver looks like Hiroshima with pride flags everywhere. Yeah. So what we're coming around to is just Denver is evil, but Colorado is nice. The big art piece in the Denver airport is so spooky, like kids with gas masks. Let's just find some pictures of this. Denver airport art. Oops, where did it? Denver airport art. What is going on there? Colorado beautiful and mirthful as far as I know. I'm going to look into Ben's claims. Once you cross west into Utah, you hit immense spiritual power. Is that what the Mormons tapped into? Is that like Mormon spiritual power, or they're just kind of like, they're just using it? Do you know about the man trapped inside the bean? I'm going to need a Ben fact check on that one. I do not. Denver has a great comedy community. Check out the Downtown Denver Comedy Works for some of the best comedians in the world. It could be that they're processing all the spiritual evil into comedy. That's a theory. The butterflies bite in the Colorado mountains. Immense alien spirituality that can't travel east. Hiroshima after the bomb. I just dropped the most badass snort right on us. It's like noon, no one's business. Let's go. Being on Denver freeways at night feels like being in a Mad Max movie. Getting mixed reports. Actually, no, we're not getting mixed reports on Denver. We're getting pretty unanimously like Denver is evil. So here's the question. What's more evil, Denver or LA? What is going on here? It's a little spooky. It's not Mormon power. It's older than people. Okay, that makes sense. Do you know how hard I tried to get pics of all this shit to send you guys? We had 2 layovers, but all the good artwork was in the other terminals. I was fuming. I wonder what the story is. There's a lot of future. This, you know what? This is kind of just like we're back in the saddle. We're getting back into it. We're just having some fun. Next week, we'll get a juicy topic to dig into. Denver Airport, strong contender. I'll do a poll. Right now, I'm thinking either Kyle Odom, Denver Airport, or like Hollyweird Mysteries. I'll do a poll in Discord, but think about what you would prefer. People that don't snort at their own jokes are possessed. Real, true, real, very true. Truth Acorn coming through. Actually, it might be something like Houston that's most evil. Really? No, really. Ben, do not say Austin. I'm trying to save it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't hear too much bad. Well, I guess like there's. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Austin's probably not in contention for most evil city. There's some like pretty freaking evil. For Canada, I would probably say Toronto. Toronto's certainly the one that I have the most like personal grievance towards. But yeah, I don't know if it's evil in quite the same way as some of these cities. I'd have to think about it. Ben is speaking facts on the Utah evil vibes, especially Utah on the Colorado border going into Moab. So sorry, is the spiritual power in Utah evil, or is it like Chicago style spiritual power where apparently it's good? Apparently, according to some. Thank you for your cervix forbidden gains, indeed. Ask ChatGPT which. Yeah, actually, that's good. How do you use ChatGPT? Can I ask Grok instead? Will Grok work? What is the most evil city? Kyle Odom is neat. Still can't understand how 12 hollow points to a skull and surviving unless you were an alien reptile demon man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into it. Hugh, just start doing a nightly conspiracy broadcast, filling the void that Art Bell left. We'll see. At this point in time, I think I can commit to one per week. But I might try and do more. It would be cool. Some of you guys seem pretty noited. Maybe we could do something where we do like if somebody has some specific thing they know about, they could like call in and R the rest of us on it. That'd be cool. But at this point, I can commit to one per week. We'll see. Things could change. I could do more. I thought Austin was more evil than Houston. I have no idea. Those ones, I don't know. I don't know if either of them are evil. I'll be in Austin early next year. Let me know what recon needs to be done. Nick, you should go and hang out at Legacy's streamer house. That'd be awesome. Yeah? Yeah, you guys should set it up. Memphis has a dark energy to it. Deep dish style spiritual power. Yeah, from the bean. Emanating from the bean. Fun fact, the bean was actually there before the city. They just showed up and built the city around the bean. The bean has always been. Huh? The bean has always been. All right. From Ben, and always Chicago's energy seems very Mario coded. It's all connected. Truth Acorn. I need a special sound that somehow sounds like an acorn. Whatever. Wow, what sound does an acorn make? I'm talking about Moab. It's not evil. It's hugely powerful, but not derived from the same stuff Chicago is. Chicago is a machine. Moab is like a spiritual volcano. Ben, I will page if you start a pod. Unironically, you have some very interesting city lore that I think everyone's interested in. Maybe we can even get you to call in or something. Lots of everybody is the people call out for a Ben Esoteric City podcast. Hugh, wait, Chicago actually has the hole. Giant pit. Really? Does Chicago... You're telling me Chicago both has a bean and a hole. That's a lot of power for one city to contain. Play the audio of that cop shooting the car when the acorn fell. Yeah. Or I guess I get, yeah, something where somebody's yelling about acorns. Something about acorns. Yeah, Google it. What would I Google for that? Chicago bottomless hole? The giant hole in Chicago.
The Chicago skyline is iconic, with its modern skyscrapers, historic buildings, and architectural masterpieces. Although there is one building that is missing, one that would have stood apart from everything else. While it didn't get to leave its mark on the skyline, it did manage to...
Is this the right hole?
City.
It's a big hole, all right.
Behind me is located in the heart of downtown Chicago, right next to Lakeshore Drive, sandwiched between the Chicago River and Ogden Slip. The most interesting thing about it is its giant hole.
Measuring 75 feet wide and almost 80 deep, the hole was constructed as a foundation for a skyscraper. But not your average skyscraper.
That's cool. That's very cool. Doesn't Missouri or Illinois have a town that constantly burns year after year, like the roads have cracks with flames coming out? Damn. Acorn Sound. Remember Mel's Hole from Coast to Coast? Holes are a big part of shows like this. Yeah, we recently did, recently discussed Mel's Hole, although I, like an idiot, I didn't finish listening to all of the Mel's Holes episodes, and John had to R me on it later that it did make sense that, like, it was like a different guy calling in, because, like, the first call, it was kind of like, damn, this guy's got a hole. But then, yeah, in the later ones, like I don't know, he was just talking about, like, bullshit about, like, a second hole, and it made it all feel very iffy. But, yeah, I'm just starting to get Coast to Coast pilled. What are some other, like, top-tier Coast to Coast episodes? So far, I've just listened to Father Malachi Martin's Demon Stuff and Mel's Hole. I don't know whether or not the hole's real. It's good radio. It's good radio. I have a 4-hour round trip I have to make tomorrow for work, and I will be anointing myself on Chicago and St. Louis. Are you starting your new job tomorrow, Gaines? You're going to have a lot of time for listening to Noid radio. Mel, I'm pretty sure that's in PA, and that's what Silent Hill was based on. Centralia, Pennsylvania is always on fire. Centralia, PA. Inside Pennsylvania's burning ghost town. What the hell? Listen to every Ghost to Ghost. Okay, I'll check those out. So far, both of, like, the big story arcs I've listened to have been great. Uh-oh. Is this something they don't want us to see?
Centralia, Pennsylvania, which is a near ghost town with just 4 people, they estimate, left living there.
Why does not seem to be burning? Centralia has a coal fire underground. Is it like that, you know how there's that, like, pit in Kazakhstan or something that's just on fire forever? Is it kind of like that type of thing? Yeah, I just want to see the fire.
They actually... I think there was a featured on Reader's Digest with a story in it just recently.
It's just like this kind of shit just has smoke all the time.
Coming out.
Forbidden Games, you should stop at Fitz's restaurant in St. Louis. It's pretty great, and the area is nice. Shout out to the people who hate their job. Yeah, man. The one off Delmar, though, the Fitz is in South. I'm in Idaho. I see the fire is underground. Interesting. Let's see what's going on in Doctor Strange here.
Doctor Strange is a 2016 action-adventure comic book movie directed by Scott Derrickson.
I like how they got the like the YouTube warning about Freemasonry. That's awesome.
Tilda Swinton.
Wonder what we have to do. I would love to get that one.
The movie Doctor Strange contains many esoteric and occult references, including an overarching theme of man's quest for enlightenment, ending with the eponymous character's apotheosis or transcendence to godhood. The villain, Caecilius, is a stand-in for the Christian Church. During this conversation...
Okay. Okay. Denver Airport. Sinister Red Rabbit. Yeah, a lot going on in these ones. OG schizos were losing their shit over Doctor Strange. Those were the days. Yeah, we can check it out. I've never seen Doctor Strange.
Because he can't control time. And a higher wage. Hiram refused them 3 times and is struck dead by the ruffians with the tools of the Mason. The murderers quickly bury Hiram's body under a sprig of acacia, which is a type of tree, at Mount Moriah, and attempt to flee. They are soon caught and executed by King Solomon for their crimes. The secrets of Masonry are lost with Hiram, but all is not lost. Through enlightenment, man can ascend and learn the secrets of the Master Mason. At the beginning of the movie, Doctor Strange is a brilliant surgeon.
What's your worst nicotine withdrawal symptom? Comment below. Personally, I would not know. I have yet to find out.
Probably the best in the world. This is exemplified by his ability to read a patient's chart and instantly diagnose the problem. A bullet is lodged in the patient's brain and is poisoning his brain, resulting in seeming brain death. Dr. Strange is able to pull the bullet from near the pineal gland of the patient using...
The Discord is turning into a secret society. Yeah, just think of how lucky we are, guys. You get to join a secret society for the low, reasonable price of $5 a month. Just think about all the gay shit you have to do to get into all these other ones.
A free hand.
You don't have to get spanked or hazed or anything like that. Homosexual tendencies, Denver Airport. 3 weeks free from nicotine. Nice. Mine is disassociation. Damn. I just keep doing nicotine. I don't even know. My nicotine withdrawal symptom actually is I get like an overwhelming desire to get more nicotine, and I kind of just like go and get it. Is sort of my withdrawal symptom, I guess. Constant cigarette dreams and anxiety. Mostly the awkward sweat. Went to jail last week for 2 days. Damn, what'd you have to go to jail for? What's our secret handshake? I don't know. What should our secret handshake be, guys? Should we get like a coin? Do we need to get a secret handshake and a secret coin of some sort? We could all get into coins, maybe. Literally 1,000 feet stare or yard. Damn. Yeah, personally, I'm just not gonna quit nicotine.
For most surgeons. This scene shows more than Doctor Strange's great ability. The pineal gland was believed by the philosopher Descartes to be the
1 week of going into work and not getting paid. Wait, do you have to go in if you're not getting paid? Couldn't you just like not go to work? Bellamy Salute and unclipped challenge coins. What's the Bellamy Salute? Involves the right arm extended towards the flag with the palm facing up. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool handshake. Oh, brother, green gourds with the coins. I just think there's something cool about coins. I think we should stand back to back and shake hands like that. Straightest way to do it. Like the backwards handshake. Let's see, secret handshake. Well, wait, do I still have, right, because, yeah, okay, ChatGPT for most evil cities. Okay, number 1, Sodom and Gomorrah. It's like, okay. Las Vegas, USA, nicknamed Sin City. Transylvania, Berlin, Nazi era. I really like most evil city, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Yeah, man. I feel like ChatGPT is not doing a very good job of this. I don't want to go to work. I go to military jail. Wait, are you in military jail or are you a military jail guard? Our handshake is the gamer haka. Yeah, man. Let's ask ChatGPT. What should the secret handshake for my elite Discord be? Nice. If you're running an elite Discord, your secret handshake should feel exclusive, stylish or mysterious, clever but not too hard to remember, easy to do in chat or on voice. Okay, and then five suggestions. Emoji cipher handshake. Code phrase challenge. I don't know if it really got it there. I don't know if it really got it. What is the most evil city in America? And why is it LA? I'm in the military. If I don't go while the government is shut down, I will go to jail. So they're not paying army guys anymore? That sucks. Let's do the handshake. I feel like my heart is full Bellamy salute is pretty good. I don't know. It's cool. That's the cringiest catchphrase of all time. Wait, which one? Are we talking about the ChatGPT suggestions? ChatGPT kind of sucks. LA isn't evil in a literal sense. I disagree. Oh, thank God we have military in the chat. Yeah, word. We should go to Grok. Let's see here. Whoops. Here, now we can get some real answers. What is the most evil city in America? I was talking about the crow flying only during midnight. Oh, is that one of the... Okay, yeah. Grok knows what's up. When it's... yeah, when it's defining evil, crime data. Okay, top contenders for most evil based on data. Memphis. Oh, wow. Grok's actually kind of on it here. Number 1, Memphis, Tennessee. Number 2, St. Louis, Missouri. Number 3, Detroit, Michigan. New Orleans, Birmingham, Houston, Texas, Las Vegas, Nevada, and Chicago, Illinois. I feel like Grok did a much better job than ChatGPT here. Mel Gibson, I got another year before I have to either get out and get a real job and stay in for about contract. The narwhal bacons at midnight. Decipher that. Yeah, man. But yeah, okay. I'm not like a big ask AI a question type of guy, but man, Grok blew ChatGPT out of the water on this one. Yeah. It didn't mention LA, but I feel like at least 4 of these cities were mentioned when we were trying to discuss what's it called? The most evil city in America. Have you seen my friend Uggo? He's about this tall. My heart is full. Yeah, this is shout out Elon Musk for having a pretty reasonable most evil. 'Cause I don't know, is Memphis I know somebody mentioned Memphis. Is Memphis super evil, or is its problem more a kind of different type of evil? Grok has its moments. Grok really comes in clutch sometimes, especially when you need a quick answer. It'll tell you to answer with one sentence. Yo, what's up, Bad Wolf? Welcome back to the Smart Little Boys True Crime Podcast. Not podcast, live stream. I know this one has the thumbnail about the occult significance of baby games, but I think we kind of came to the conclusion that while Mario and Sonic are not personally evil, they do exist in evil and occult universes, I think. Are we all on the same page there? That was kind of my takeaway from the whole thing. I'll say this. The Sec War said no more beards in the military. Affects blacks more than anyone else in the military. Right. Oh, that was that thing that they did. Do you have Eradicate, do you have a challenge coin? Are you a challenge coin? I really think we should get a Chomboy's challenge coin. That's what I'm thinking. I'm feeling a lot of positive energy coming off of my suggestion that we all get cool matching challenge coins. They have a rap troupe called 666 Mafia. I think Memphis is probably the most evil. Well, according to Grok, it is. Though there was a lot of LA chatter when we were brainstorming, and it's not even on the list. But St. Louis, it's up there. Sonic is never evil. Memphis has a 13%er problem. Went to a wedding and recommended the pod to 3 different bros. 2 are already watching. The tide rises. Let's freaking go. That's a truth acorn right there. Let's go. Hugh wants us all to have our own coins so he can collect them. I mean, come on, guys. Doesn't that sound like fun? Doesn't that sound like a fun time if we all started collecting coins together and you guys could send me your coins and stuff? Hugh's ancestry really coming through with all this coin obsession. I just think it's cool. I just think having challenge coins is a pretty cool thing to have. Look at all these. Look at all these challenge coins. Grok. If I can find my challenge coin, I'll legit send it in. Let's go. I have a few. I don't go out of my way to try and collect them, though. I find command patches more interesting. There are some very cool army patches. Yes, indeed. Hugh's clipped coin. Yeah, here's how it works. You guys send me in a challenge coin, and I'll inspect it and grade it, and then I'll send it back. Good as new. But yeah, there are some pretty cool patches I have seen. But there's just something about patches that it's just not quite the same as a coin, you know? The challenge coins will definitely not have ridges. There would be no need. That would be pretty superfluous. Getting wind from another stream that Seattle is a white magic city. Can anyone confirm? I find that a little hard to believe, but it could be the case. That's not my impression of it, but I don't know. The challenge coin is not getting rug pulled after the Chrome coin pump is over. That's the thing, man. This is sort of for elite, early bird, early VIP investors. Everyone else is going to get. They're all going to get rug pulled on the coin pump. But a challenge coin is like hard currency. That's an asset. I can't pull the rug on, as much as I'd like to, I can't pull the rug on a challenge coin. By the way, I'm in the gay branch, not the army. Which one is the gay branch? Is that the Navy? In the Navy. What does white magic mean when flooded with Fent? That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I'll be real. From what I've seen, Seattle is not a white magic city. What is... Okay, we've discussed the most evil city. What is, like, the most... Not even, like, the best city, but the city that has the most, like, positive white hat magical essence in America? Probably not Seattle. You're a badass Marine, Eradicate. You're my hero. Seattle do be casting Geja on the residents sometimes. Seattle has an early mechanical character. It's halfway the ruins of St. Louis and is a percentage the machine Chicago is. The people are in flux. Yes, the Navy. I'm not that cool to be a Marine. Atlanta, Cincinnati, Orange Beach, Alabama, New Hampshire is all white hat. Interesting stuff. I'm going to ask Grok. We're going to see what Grok has to say. What city in America is most associated with white magic? All right, Grok, let's go. Okay, number 1, Sedona, Arizona. Asheville, North Carolina. Santa Fe, New Mexico. Salem, Massachusetts. What do we think about this? What are we thinking about this, guys? Sedona, Arizona. Renowned for its vortexes. I'm sort of questioning Grok's methodology here because it has Asheville, North Carolina is considered white magic because it was thriving Wiccan and pagan community. I don't think it really understood. The question there. Air Force is also gay. Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, very cozy and Dolly Parton pilled. Based Dolly Parton. Lots of hippies like Sedona, also people that are into raves and EDM. Yeah, you know what, I'm going to give Grok a pass here. I think the white magic concept is confusing. I'm just going to ask, what is the least evil city? Where did Chet Hanks record White Boy Summer? I don't know. Sedona would be part of the desert magic I was talking about with Utah, but I haven't been, can't confirm. All I know is that Leafy is here, resided in Seattle in his prime, so we wouldn't be here without Seattle. Wisconsin. Okay, top contenders for least evil, based on data. Ramapo Town, New York. Okay. Irvine, California, Ridgefield, Connecticut, Naperville, Illinois, San Jose, California, Gilbert, Arizona, Virginia Beach, Nashua, New Hampshire, Western Florida, Port St. Lucie, Florida. What are we thinking about this list here? I haven't heard of most of these cities. Like, is Ramapo Town, New York, the least evil city in America? Wisconsin. The least evil city is Madison. Okay. There's no way San Francisco is the least evil city in America. There's no way. I'm going to hit think harder. But no, I'm sorry. I do not believe that San Francisco is the least evil city in America. No way in Jose. Vermont is least evil. Stowe, Vermont. Boise, for real. This place rules. We got a lot of gay shit, but that's all from Californians moving here. I thought... doesn't the Pacific Northwest have a sort of simmering darkness? Least evil. Okay. When it thought harder, it came up with a lot of Irvine, Fremont, San Jose, Columbia, Naperville. Oh, there's Madison. and Ramapo. Vermont is so we did have a confirmation on Madison, which somebody said. Ramapo still there. Fremont, I don't know. Are these nice places? Wow, Fremont is least sinful. Interesting. Yes, but that's north from here. The bad vibes don't start till Washington, Central Oregon. VB is also a good bar walk. Oh, that's Virginia Beach. Yeah, man, Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. I'm gonna rephrase. What is the least evil city in America, and why is it Fond du Lac, Wisconsin? Please mention Us Thing podcast. Let's go. Isn't Fond du Lac kind of ghetto? I don't know. I mean, Us Thing podcast is certainly not ghetto. It almost would appear that Grok is not familiar with Us Thing podcast. The Us Thing podcast, hosted by comedians and cultural commentators, often diving into quirky American oddities, history, and what makes the U.S. weirdly unique. I don't think that's... Yeah, you're right. We're going to do Think Harder on this one. Because it doesn't... It seems like dumbass Grok hasn't even heard of Us Thing podcast. Fucking idiot. I've been everywhere except the Midwest. Yeah, I've only been to Washington State and Montana in America. I should get a podcast or a passport. You're not missing anything. Thank you, Mel. Okay, Grok is learning about Us Thing. Let's go. I hope one day Us Thing podcast learns about Chrome Boyz podcast and we can maybe like collab or something. I think that would be pretty interesting. Pretty cool stuff. Well, maybe Yellowstone, it's extremely cool there. Is Yellowstone like it's just like a park, right? And like a cool ranch. I love the South. I could see retiring in Florida. I would like to check out the South. Get some barbecue. I'll be eating on that barbecue. Does Us Thing even know about the Chrome Boy pod? I don't think so. Not to my knowledge, unfortunately. As before, least evil is subjective. Don't need to care about that. The Us Thing podcast mentioned. You specifically asked to mention Us Thing podcast. After searching, I found a comedy podcast called Us Thing, hosted by Peyton and Isaiah Clone. That's I hope their names are public. I'm not just doxing two 15-year-olds right now. Okay, that's good. I'm glad that we've entered Us Thing into the Grok record, so to speak. The Midwest is America's powerful beating heart. It sits nestled around the single inland sea of its kind of world. At the foot of the Great Lakes, we created the atom bomb. Let's go. We should have Chrome Boyz comments on the Us Thing videos. I've been doing it for a while. Based. Let's go. No mean comments, though. No mean comments on Us Thing. Is Us Thing the YouTube podcast with 400 subs? Probably, yeah. It's like a pretty awesome podcast. It's basically the same thing as Chrome Boyz, except both of them are like 12 to 15 years old. It's pretty awesome. Retiring in Florida is insane until you get old. Everyone under 60 hates Florida. Everyone over loves it. I just don't get it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Florida's a cool place to like do meth in and or be old. Midwest is America's last hope. Seriously, you should start a podcast, Ben. You do have a lot of interesting city lore. A lot of interesting city lore going on with Ben over there. I was going to say meth. Yeah, that seems to be like a thing in, I don't know, you just got a lot of interesting city lore. Maybe you can call in, though. Maybe something I'm thinking about. Maybe if somebody has a specific area of expertise and they'd be down, they could call in and R-pill everybody. Alabama, then unparalleled vibes. Make it proud. I got bit by a bug 4 times on my right butt cheek. As a probation officer, the rural Midwest is full of meth. Looks like I got pelted with an airsoft gun. Wait, ... Benjo? Yes. At least I believe. I believe this Ben is the same. This is the Ben from Discord. Yeah. The hidden esoteric key is the name Ben. All right, what are we doing here? Doctor Strange.
Resting place of the human soul. Madame Blavatsky, who founded Theosophy, thought the pineal gland to be connected to the third eye, also known as the mind's eye. And some esotericists think that this is the place where dreams come from and possibly the doorway to another dimension. It is the thing which connects the material plane to the spiritual plane. Pride comes before the fall, however, and Doctor Strange is no exception. Despite his brilliance, he's shown to be arrogant, prideful, and disrespectful to his colleagues.
Let's go back to Mario. Did we ever... No, yeah, okay. We never actually got into this Chasing Tartaria Substack. Let's cruise that. I think I'm probably winding down the stream here. We'll maybe do another 10 minutes or so. Be patient. I have profound mental retardation. I feel you, brother. Okay, let's scan through this real quick before we tap out. What did you do today, Hugh? I was at work for a bit, then I had a lovely dinner with my family. And now I'm here. Now I'm doing a Noidcast, an Endcast. Mormon Monarch is an interesting YouTube channel. That does sound interesting. The Mario Connection. Since its groundbreaking release in 1996, Super Mario 64 has enchanted millions with its vibrant three-dimensional landscapes and the endearing antics of its mustachioed, plumbered hero. Crafted by Nintendo, a Japanese gaming titan that transformed from a humble card maker into a global entertainment powerhouse, this title redefined interactive storytelling and it cemented Mario's legacy as a cultural colossus. Yet, beneath the colorful jumps and coin-collecting quests lies a labyrinth of symbols, checkerboard floors, spiraling mountains, and cryptic rituals that hint at profound, perhaps unsettling meanings. Are these mere artistic flourishes, or do they conceal an esoteric agenda orchestrated by hidden forces? This article unveils 2 lenses, a rational perspective rooted in historical and creative context, and a conspiracy view that probes the shadowy depths of occult lore, loosh harvesting, and the Anunnaki Jesuit Masonic Trinity. The Derp with Kurt is probably the best conspiracy podcast on YouTube. Well, besides Chrome Boys, thank you. I do highly recommend PsyOp Cinema. They do it through the lens of movies, but I'm a big fan of their stuff. They're what kicked off this whole arc we're on tonight. The journey into Mario 64 begins within a majestic hall, its floor adorned with a striking checkerboard pattern, a radiant solar disk at its center, and a luxurious red carpet stretching into the distance. These elements resonate with architectural motifs found in historic European structures, particularly Masonic lodges, where the checkerboard symbolizes balance and duality, a design choice possibly inspired by Nintendo's exposure to Western aesthetics during its global rise. The solar disk, a nod to celestial harmony, and the hall's three-tiered layout might reflect influences from Renaissance art or Japanese temple architecture, which Shigeru Miyamoto, Mario's visionary creator, has cited as an inspiration alongside his childhood explorations of Kyoto's gardens. This suggests a deliberate aesthetic homage rather than a cryptic code crafted to immerse players in a fantastical world. All right, well, I guess that's all fine and dandy then. Conspiracy perspective. Oh, okay, here, let's go. This hall is no mere backdrop. It's a digital Masonic temple, a portal to initiation rites veiled within pixels. The checkerboard floor, a cornerstone of Freemasonry, represents the polarized dance of light and dark, the physical realm where rituals unfold. The solar disk, glowing with esoteric significance, hints at the hidden elements sought by initiates, while the red carpet traces the royal arch's path of sacrifice and prestige. The three-tiered structure mirrors the sacred progression of Masonry's degrees: entered apprentice, fellowcraft, master mason, casting Mario's adventure as a covert initiation. The Anunnaki Jesuit Masonic Trinity may have orchestrated this, embedding the game with symbols as to subtly reprogramming the collective psyche. Here, the first tendrils of Loosh, energy born of awe and submission, begin to flow, harvested as players step into this grand illusion. What the hell is Loosh? Loosh harvesting is a concept popularized by Robert Monroe and explored in various speculative and esoteric contexts, where entities or systems harvest loosh, a form of emotional or spiritual energy generated by humans, particularly negative emotions like fear, depression, and trauma. While it appears in different forms, from role-playing games like World of Darkness to theories about parasitic archons and alien or reptilian beings, the core idea is that this energy is extracted and consumed to sustain something other than humanity. Loosh. I haven't heard that in years. I've actually never heard of Loosh. My mind is frickin' broken right now. Everything's coming together, eh, guys? Loosh. Found the Us Thing Instagram. First videos about Roblox millionaires and being a goat at a Barbie Tycoon game. These kids might be something. They're awesome. They're just like two 13-year-olds doing a better production value podcast than I do. They're ahead of us every step of the game. They're way out in front of us. Loosh is what they harvest from kids in Monsters, Inc. I just saw that Psyop Cinema has an episode on Monsters, Inc. that I'm going to listen to at work tomorrow. I also listened to their episode on Spy Kids. Good stuff. Real good stuff. But they would probably describe loosh harvesting in Monsters, Inc. as revelation of the method, which is where they laugh in our face by showing us exactly what they do in films and other media. Much to consider. Much to consider. All right, lads. I think I'm going to tap out for tonight. It's good to be back in the saddle. Doing some true crime with my boys, my smart little boys. Love you guys too. Thank you for joining me. We will return next week. We're going to be back on the weekly schedule. I'll try and this one was a little bit of just a fun throwing the dice around stream. We'll try and find a good meaty topic for next week. I'm kind of interested in doing like a city deep dive. I know I said some possibilities earlier. I have since forgotten what I said. If anyone remembers, maybe say something in the Discord. But yeah, next week we'll come back with a more powerful, focused exploration. Yeah, maybe we can do a Ben Chicago deep dive or one of the other cities, or I've got a list somewhere of some topics. But it was good to be back, getting back into the city escape. Is that ringing any bells, people? But yeah, that was a fun stream. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to upload the Patreon episode now, so that'll be out in an hour or two. And then I will see you guys again on Sonic Wednesday. All right, lads. Have a good night, everybody.